Thoughts and beliefs about you and others, how you perceive them, those things will appear to manifest when you're identifying with the mind, the separate self, the ego, or the character. And when I say they don't manifest, that's because they're an illusion. So when we put our attention and focus on things that are an illusion, they will appear to manifest. The mind, the separate self, the ego, is an illusion. So what it perceives is illusions. Illusion meaning not what it appears to be. There is no truth in illusions. And if the mind can only perceive illusions, then it's going to attach to them and then believe them, right? So it's going to have thoughts about them. It's going to form beliefs around them unless we recognize it for what it is, unless we notice and recognize what's actually going on. And the one looking for proof of what manifests is the ego. That's coming from the ego because it needs proof. That's what it feeds off of. So let's take the SP example. You have your SP and then you lose them. And then the ego jumps in and says, oh, how did this happen? What were you doing? What were you thinking? What were you believing when this happened? Who were you being? What subconscious beliefs do you have about yourself that you need to uncover so we can fix this thing? But who says any of that is true? Who's the one labeling these things? It can't be awareness, you, the real you, because awareness doesn't label shit. All it knows is itself. The truth is, you get to decide what meaning to give to things now. And you don't even have to give it a meaning if you don't want to. Sometimes that can be more challenging because we think, oh, we'll have to flip this thing into a positive. But you don't even have to do that. I don't recommend doing that right off the bat because sometimes it can be tricky you feel like you're trying to get from A to Z all in one. And then now we're trying, okay? And we're just thinking too hard. So let's just not even go there. The point is we're playing into the illusions of the ego when we're trying to fix the 3D or change something or someone, or even how you reacted, right? A 3D reality that is always changing, it's always moving, it's fluid. You were never the character to begin with. Self-concept or identity from the perspective of the ego includes all the things we feel or we think that we must change in order to manifest something. However, if we stop identifying with the ego or as the ego, as the character, the separate self, all of those things, those objects dissolve, and what's uncovered is awareness, which is what you've been this entire time.